All right, Richard. Richard, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Texas, Brownsville.
Brownsville, Texas.
Yes, sir.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood?
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I went to down the street, Soto Street School, and then from there I went to Hollenbeck, and then I went to Roosevelt.
So you grew up in like East LA?
Yes, East LA.
You had mom and dad?
Mom and dad, yes. I grew up with mom and dad.
How would you describe your childhood in general?
As a matter of fact, it's an interesting question you bring that up, because it made a big turn around my childhood. I was the altar boy, and I was I did my first Holy Communion, my catechism, at the church where my neighborhood is at. And it's so interesting that you bring that up, because right now, as a matter of fact, while we speak, I have a lawsuit because of my childhood.
What happened?
At the church I was attended to.
What happened?
I got molested.
At what age?
At age like 11, 12. And it turned my whole life around.
It changed the path of your life, you think?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, now I have at this moment, I have something as a lawsuit going, pending.
What kind of kid were you in
I
high
was
school?
a good kid.
Like teenager?
No, well, before the molestation, I used to get good grades and honorable student. I used to get golden ribbon letters to my parents from my school, and I was one of the top 5 students. But after the molestation, I went down and I went downhill, and I quit school.
Really?
I started working at the age of, the 11th grade, which was at the age of 17.
And what kind of things did you do in your life?
I've done everything, you name it. I worked for city schools, for Unified. I worked as a Edison company, the electrician. I worked as a glazer, putting up windows in new buildings. Then I worked on my own business, which is remodeling houses, flipping over houses. And then I was married at the age of 19.
You got married?
Yes, married 19. Had one child only, and until now I only have one child. And was married for 26 years.
You told me outside that you're a musician as well?
Yes, we were a musician at the time, and started off with neighborhood bands, and then I graduated from professional to professional bands.
And you're a drummer?
And drummer, yes.
Yeah.
I've friends with well-known musicians like Anthony from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a good friend of mine. Steve from the Sex Pistols, Steve Jones. Iggy Pop, stuff like that.
That's great.
People like that.
And your band was managed by Blondie's management?
Blondie was bass player Nigel Harrison. He played the bass, and he was our manager for my band.
Oh, I see.
And we recorded at MCA Records. We did showcases for every record company.
How old are you now?
I am 65.
65. You look good for 65.
Thank you. I was born in 1958. Like Michael Jackson and like Madonna. and Siggy. I mean, what's his name from? Nikki Sixx, 1958.
Mm-hmm. And so I saw you walking past my studio just now. Would you describe yourself as a cross-dresser?
As a cross-dresser, yes.
Is that what you are?
Yes.
Yeah. And how long has that been your thing?
I just started doing this just recently, for the fact that it brought it calms me down. It makes me look at the other side of opposite of my sex drive, my sex. I know how women feel now, and so, and it calmed me down. It brought my feminine side out,
Mm-hmm.
and which keeps me out of jail.
It,
I've been to prison, all that.
it kept you out of,
Yeah, it keeps me out of trouble. Dressing like this.
really?
Yeah, it brings the other side of me, which is instead of all macho and right away getting, heated up for small stuff that is not necessary. So this brings my feminine side out, and I'm more relaxed,
Calmer.
more calm. Yes.
Yeah. What have you been in prison for?
Weapon charges, federal prison. I've been there for robbery, vandalism, you name it, And not only prison, but also LA County Jail.
It's hard to imagine you being someone who would have that life.
Yeah, I did
Has
federal
your-
prison.
Has your personality changed?
Yes, that's why I've been out of trouble for more than like 20 years, almost 10 years, more than 10 years, about 10,
Were drugs a
a
part of your life?
lifetime. Huh?
Were drugs a part of your life?
Drugs, yeah, I've always been drugs.
What is your drug?
I've done drugs ever since I got molested.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What is your drug?
I've done everything, you name it.
But is there a go-to?
But I started with sniffing paint, sniffing glue, to smoking angel dust, PCP, to LSD, to marijuana all that time, and then to meth.
Crystal meth.
Yeah.
And all of
And
these,
also crack.
and also crack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these all just an effort to escape the memory of what you went
Yeah,
through?
it's just it's a desperation to function day to day, make sure you're gonna fall asleep, without thinking about negative stuff.
Because when something like that happens to a young man,
Yes.
young person,
You don't want to think about those things.
Yeah.
You block them out of your drugs. Help you block them out. Ever since then, I've been doing that.
emotionally, what do you go through
Uh,
now?
it's just before it's a addiction, a sex addiction, porno movies and stuff.
So you had a sex addiction,
Yeah,
or you still do?
yeah, I still do.
So the crystal meth doesn't help with that.
No,
And
No.
you are gay, bi,
no, I'm just
straight.
straight. I'm straight, but I like to cross dress, because I've always liked to. I like, even when I was a musician, I put eyeliner and dressed up with women, like attire, like Mick Jagger does, or
A lot of rock stars do.
Rod Stewart. I just took it further up by wearing a skirt. But although if I put pants, you'll see me as a musician. And the way I see it, women could wear pants, so men could wear skirts.
You put on some leather pants and sit behind a drum kit, you're going to look normal.
Yeah, right. If I'm in a car, I'll look normal too. But I'm saying, if women could wear pants, why can't we wear skirts? And it's no big deal. And it's not the pants that make the man, it's the man that makes the pants.
That's right. Do you have any regrets in your life?
Regrets? Not really. As a matter of fact, that's why I stay young at heart. I even though I have that thing that happened to me, I didn't bring it up for a long time till my mom passed away recently. So after that, she passed away. I didn't want to bring it up in front of her or let her know about that, my molestation. So I didn't. I lived my life normal. I tried to. The way I seen it, it was like a old car that you got to fix. And that's what our life is. Life is just how you take it.
You just shut up and deal with it.
Yeah, you gotta just deal with life. Don't make a big deal. The way I see it, you're doing good if you're not in jail or you're not in the hospital dying. You're doing good. Everybody's doing good.
You have a
Right.
son or a daughter?
I have a daughter.
You have a daughter. What's your relationship like with your daughter?
She loves me every time she calls me. She tells me, "I love you, Dad."
That's great.
She's always looking for me on Facebook, and so there's times where I have to hide from her because she loves me so much, you know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What have you learned about?
And my ex-wife also, she's a good friend of mine too.
That's great.
Yeah.
What have you learned about the way women are treated by cross-dressing?
I learned that men are really take advantage of them. You know, they abuse them. They're weak.
It's hard being a woman.
They're just a man just because they're lesser, weaker vessel. They puts them like it's okay to tell them stuff that they wouldn't tell a man. You know, they'll tell a woman, but not a man. You know, just because he could probably just physically beat her up. You know, but that's not right. You know, you shouldn't. You know, that's what I found out, that men are real abusive.
They can be.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah.
And you give them the right, you know, they'll give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You know, most of them, not all of them. But I learned that how women feel. Like I'd be walking down the street and like this, and I already could tell the sense of the way that men are.
You're wearing a skirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I also wear a skirt is because I look good in it.
You
But
do.
if I didn't look good, I always get compliments, and I ask, they look from 1 to 10, how do I look? Most people say 8 or 9 or something. So if it didn't look good on me, I wouldn't wear it too. Yeah, also, you know.
Have you been up all night?
Yeah.
And what do you spend your time doing tonight? It's early morning on Saturday.
Well, let's see. I got lost yesterday. I ended up in like West Hollywood and stuff. So I just got off the bus over here and I just started walking around downtown on my way home.
And you're not homeless?
No, I'm not homeless now, but I just got out of being homeless.
You were homeless?
I was homeless for at least a straight 5 years.
Really?
Yes. Living off the freeway. I was living. I have a shack over in the hills up in El Sereno, and I made my own shack there. And it's right there up at Eastern and Lombardi. Actually, I'm an advocate besides homeless being there, and also a squatter. So I've been there for a long time, at least about maybe 3 years, and then I was over here by the mariachi area for another 2 years.
Was that the lowest point of your life?
Yeah. But you know what? Like I said, if you're doing good, if you're not in the hospital or you're not in jail. I made the best out of it. It turned out to be a good experience.
You still have your health and you're
It turned out to be a good experience.
staying out of trouble.
Yes. You know, you could get in trouble easy being homeless. Real easy. But you gotta be true to your school. You don't lie, you don't steal. That'll keep you away from trouble. And be true, you know. Try not to be a little sneak, you know.
How are you supporting yourself?
I was on GR, and now I'm on SSI.
But is that enough to pay for everything you need? It is.
Yeah. For now, yeah. And then I'm getting a pretty good settlement. So
Yeah. So what kind of settlement do you think you might?
I'm looking for a good. You're looking at a millionaire.
Million? So that'll help you a little bit.
Yes, at least it'll erase the. It'll pay. It's a payback, you know. In other words, you feel relief. that something's coming back that haunted.
Is $1 million worth it for what you had to go
well,
through?
they were giving me a settlement for just for 100,000 last week, but I didn't take it.
They offered 100,000,
Yes.
and you turned it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm.
That was a smart move.
Yeah, it wasn't 100,000. It's a joke
See, to me,
compared to what they do, what they did, what happened to me.
to me, there's no price you can put on
There's
that.
no prices. I want my granddaughters, grandkids to get an education.
Is that what you're going to do with the money?
Yes.
Good for you.
My granddaughter did doing real good. She went from high school to college. That's my daughter's daughter.
That's great.
So I want her, the education is what I missed out on.
What are you proudest of in your life?
I'm proudest that I made it this far, A lot of people have already passed away, and that I still look functionable.
Have you lost a lot of friends?
Yes. Since recently, I've been losing a lot of people that I know.
To drugs?
To drugs, that fentanyl, whatever. I don't do that shit. That's crazy. I stay away from that type of stuff.
Yeah, be careful.
Yes. I got it by accident. I almost went out. I had to fight the fight of my life.
Richard, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Most important lesson I learned in my life is to, like I said, don't steal, don't lie, and be true to your school. Those things will keep you out of trouble, and you won't have no priors. You could go back to any neighborhood you want.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for sharing your
You're
story.
welcome. You're welcome.
I wish you lots of luck out there.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you.
your time.
Good luck with your lawsuit.